Hello. Welcome to day 22 of 365 days. So I'm a little tipsy and just going to be straight up with that. So let's see how this Facebook Live goes. This is the second time I almost forgot, but here I am, even intoxicated. So that's a good sign. And so when I remembered, I was like, oh shit, I gotta do this Facebook Live. Almost forgot. And Ron is like, are you gonna be okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm just like a little tipsy. I'm just gonna say happy birthday, mothers. And me and Ron start laughing our asses off. He's like, are you sure you're gonna do this Facebook Live? I'm like, I have to. I made this commitment. Like, doesn't matter what it is, whatever the fuck it is, I'm going to go live. So we're cracking up. We're making jokes like, okay, yeah, go on live and say happy birthday, mothers. Or at the end, say, okay, happy birthday, mothers. Anyways, crazy. So I want to know how you spent your Mother's Day with your mother, or if you're a mother, what was planned for you. We went to, last night was the beginning of the Mother's Day celebration. I took my mother to a restaurant in Fort Lauderdale called Calouse. Very awesome, like casual but high-end chain restaurant. It was very nice. We had a great time, and then we went to do this hair treatment where you lay down and they do all the head massage and all the different shampoos and all the things, and you're laying on this like body massager. My experience was like, okay. My mom had a really good experience, which is what I really only cared about. So we did that Saturday night. This was a gift card that was given to her on Christmas. And I said, Mom, this is the perfect time to claim your gift card. So we did that. And today we went to breakfast in Juno Beach, which is about 30 minutes from here, called Berry Cafe or something like that, Berry Juice Cafe. Great time with my in-laws, with Ron's parents, his mother and his father. And then coincidentally, my cousin texted me yesterday saying that, hey, we're going to go to Juno Beach if you and your mother want to join. I'm like, oh my God, we're going to go to Juno Beach as well. I'm going to have breakfast with my in-laws and with my mother. And then we're going to go, she wanted to go to the beach. So I was like, how this was like just so perfect, because Ron's parents has only met my mother and my father, hasn't met the rest of my family. So I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. We arrive to breakfast and she has her dog with her. I'm like, oh shit. And Flora is a little bit of an alpha female, so she can be a little, like snappy at dogs. So I was like, okay. Come to find out that everyone is bringing their dogs. Everybody in the family. I was like, oh shit. So I was a little bit nervous about that. I had a little bit of anxiety, which I actively communicated that actually with my mother, with Ron, and with my cousins, which was it was an important deal for me, because normally I wouldn't, and I would just start acting out on that anxiety. And everyone that I talked to, they were like, no, don't worry. It's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. They're going to be fine. Like dogs have their own rules, and like, we'll be good. So they did help me to calm down, and it also helped me realize that my anxiety with certain things sometimes is out of proportion. It kind of helped me put into perspective that I may be anxious about something and others may not see it that way. And my anxiety can create more problems than what's actually there and present. Do you get what I'm saying? So as I'm witnessing myself in all this going down today on Mother's Day with all the dogs present, I was like, okay. So I actively decided to like remove myself from when the dogs were going to meet, because for me, that was when everything was going to be the most anxious, because my biggest fear is that there's going to be a dog fight, that someone's going to get hurt, and then somehow it was going to be blamed on me. Somehow it was going to be that, oh, Jessica was the problem in my mind. Like if only Jessica would have said that this dog was coming or that. I don't know why, but it was me. So I'm acknowledging all of this happening. And I'm telling Ron, I'm like, okay, Ron. And here's the thing, Flora is not even my dog. And this is a thing where I had to realize, I'm like, okay, she's not my dog. So she technically, realistically, is not my responsibility to take care of. But in my mind, I feel responsible to make sure to jump in if something were to happen, you know? But I know that I'm not supposed to do that. So I would tell people who are more involved in the situation, like, okay, this is how I feel. I'm just going to remove myself. I know you guys are in charge of this. I'm going to, do the initial introduction, but I'm going to walk away because I feel my anxiety isn't really going to help in this situation. And of course, everything turned out fine. And it was a really interesting lesson for me to see where my own limiting beliefs and my own whatever gets in the way, you know? Don't worry, no one can see you, babe. Babe's coming out of the shower. So that was an interesting experience for myself. And I know I get that from my dad. And from my mom too. She has it in different ways. So what's my point? My point is, I don't know if there was a point. I guess, I don't know. I'm going to close this up here because now I'm starting to go in a different land. We ended up having a great day at the beach. All the dogs got along. I was able to communicate with the people that I needed to communicate with, to my concerns. Everything was fine. Nothing bad happened. Flora was because we know her personality. She was actually the more behaved dog out of the other two that were creating issues. Not issues, but being more territorial and growling. And the other dog that was like a year and a half, of course, she's a puppy still, wanting to play. So that was a whole really interesting experience, but my in-laws got to meet my family, and that was good. That was nice. That's always a good thing, a good feeling. And then that was it. After that, we left. We were there at the beach from like 11 a.m. to about 4 p.m. Came home. Had some cocktails. Of course, I'm going to get pretty tipsy off of a few cocktails because I was in the sun all day. And then that's when I said, okay, happy birthday, mothers. That's what I'm going to say on my Facebook Live. And Ron and I cracked our asses off. So happy Mother's Day. I hope you had a beautiful day. Let me know in the comments how your day was, what was planned for you, what you planned for your mother. And for the mothers out there, I want you to know, do not take this day lightly. You are the birthers of reality. And I say that with so much depth, so much. Not even the birth of reality. You are birthing a new generation that creates a new reality. That's what I want to say. That is so much depth into that. And I hope you really, really deeply feel that in your heart and that you acknowledge that on this day. So happy Mother's Day. And you will see me tomorrow with a clearer transmission. And expect to hear a lot about dripping pleasure because that's what I'm going to be talking a lot about to you this upcoming week. All right. Love you. Have a beautiful night and good night.